In today's tutorial, I want to talk about Python Dictionary, which is our fourth tutorial in the data structures series. We already talked about Python lists, Python tuples, and Python sets. A dictionary in Python is like your real word dictionary. It stores what is called key value pairs, allowing you to look up values by their keys. Just the way you go into your dictionary and look up words, you can look up values in Python using what is called dictionary keys. Dictionaries in Python hold strings and numbers, which are either integers or floats, which I've already discussed in my previous tutorial. There are two ways of creating dictionaries in Python. You can either use the curly braces method or use Python inbuilt method called the dict method. Let's head into it. Let's call this first dictionary student. Introduce our assignment statement. We'll use the curly braces method for the first dictionary we're creating. The first thing you need to do is insert the key. Let's call this name. This is the key for the first item we want to store in this dictionary. You separate it with a column. Since it's a string, let's call the value James. So with this, we have a key value pair. So this is the first item in this dictionary. We separate it with a comma. Let's call the second item phone number. Let's separate this with another column. Let's call this is the key. Let's call the value 234. So we have two items in this dictionary. We have two key value pairs for this particular dictionary. So to get our result, we simply call student, shift and enter. As you can see, we have two key value pairs in this particular dictionary. The second way of creating dictionary is to use the dict method. Let's call this student 2. This method uses the inbuilt Python dict to create a dictionary. What you insert into this, you insert the values just the way you create your Python variables. I already discussed about Python variables in my previous tutorial. So to create this dictionary, all you simply do, let's call this the key for this dictionary, let's call it name 2. Since it's a string, let's call the value, let's say this person is Lynn. Introduce your comma. The second item in the dictionary, let's say it's phone number. Since it's the number, it's not going to be in a string. To get your result, you simply do student 2, shift and enter. As you can see, we have the two key value pairs. There are a number of operations you can perform in the dictionary. The first one is you can access the values in a dictionary using their keys, just the way you access the index of a list in Python. I already discussed all that in my list tutorial. Let's say, for instance, we want to access the value 234. All we simply do is to we'll call our dictionary student, use the square bracket, insert the key, which is phone underscore number. It's a string. Then shift and enter. It will return the value. So you use the key to search for the value. Let's quickly do another example for the second dictionary we have. Let's say we want to search for Lynn in dict2, all you simply do is student2, the square bracket, call the key, which is name2 in a string, then shift and enter. This gives you Lynn. In the same fashion, you can also add items to a dictionary just the way you add elements to your list. How do you do this? Let's say we want to add a key value pair to the student dictionary. All you simply do is call the name of the dictionary, which is student, use the square bracket. Let's say we want to add field, or let's say we want to add address. All you need to do is this becomes the key, then equal to, let's say it's also a string. Let's call this address Kobe. Then come down and call dictionary, student, shift and enter. As you can see, address has been added to this dictionary we created initially. In the same fashion, you can also delete an item from a dictionary. How do you do this? Let's delete this address we just added. You use what is called the del method. Call the name of the dictionary, student. Use the square bracket. What we want to delete is address. Then let's call our student dictionary. Shift and enter. As you can see, address have been deleted from this dictionary. Just like your Python list and sets, the Python dictionary also have a number of methods that it uses in Python. The first one we'll be looking at is the get method. This is used to return a value even if the key it's not found in the dictionary, but it does not store this value in the dictionary. Let's see how this works. Let's say from our student dictionary, we want to add the get method. Then we want to fetch the key name. Shift enter, we get the value James. Now let's see how the get method actually works. Let's say student.get. Now let's give it a key that it doesn't have. Let's say this key is name3, which is not in the dictionary at all. Then let's say comma. Let's give it a value. Let's call this value Adam. Let's shift and enter. You see, it gives us the result Adam. But this value and its key are not going to be stored in the dictionary. Let me show you what I mean. So if we come here now and call our student dictionary, we end up getting what we just have inserted in the dictionary earlier, which is just the name and James and its phone number. The next method I'm going to be talking about is the update method. What is the update method used for? This is used to insert items into the dictionary. You can also use it to merge two dictionaries together. Let's see how this works. Let's still use the student dot update. Let's use the curly braces method to update a new element into the dictionary. Let's call the first one, let's say, let's use the name3. Let's give it the value Adam. Now let's call student. Let's shift and enter. As you can see, name 3 and Adam have been added to the dictionary. Let's say we want to merge the first dictionary we created together, students and student 2. The update is a perfect method to execute this. All you need to do is student.update. Then you say student2. Then you come down and call student again. Then shift and enter. As you can see, we have a combined dictionary of key value pairs of student and student 2. This is how the update method operates. Another method we're going to quickly touch is the item, values and keys. What does this? These are 3 methods. The items returns the store key value pairs. The values will return only values, and keys will return only the keys. Let's see how this works. All you need to do is just simply do print. Let's call the name of the dictionary, which is student. Then let's call the method. The first one is item. Close. Then print student. Oh, this is supposed to be dot item. Then this is going to be student dot value. Then the third one is going to be print student dot keys. Then shift and enter. As you can see, these are the items, the key and their values respectively. The second one is only the items, James, number, Adam, and Lynn. Then these are just the keys, which are all the first elements. So that's what this method does. The next method we want to talk about is the setDefault method. What does this method do? This stores and returns a value to a dictionary if that key and the value does not exist in the dictionary. But if the key does exist, it will return the value that is already in the dictionary. Let's see how this works. Let's say student in our student dictionary dot set default. Let's call the key name, comma. Let's assign it a value Andre. Now let's call our dictionary student. As you can see, name is here already with James, and we already have name James. So invariably, this can't work. But let's come under here and let's do student dot set default. Now let's say name 5, comma. Now this is a string. Then let's give this name 5 Andre. Let's come down and call the dictionary. Let's say student. Then shift and enter. So the set default assigns the value Andre to the key name 5. So you can see from our result, we have name, phone number, name, name, then we have Andre. The last method we'll be talking about is the pop item method. This removes the last inserted key value pairs from the dictionary. This method also returns the associated key, that's the next key value pair. Let's see how this works. Let's say student dot pop item, then shift and enter. Name Andre, which is the last element, have been removed. To confirm this, you just need to do student, shift and enter. As you can see, name and Andre is not in the dictionary. If you do the pop again, name 4 and Ken goes off the dictionary. Let's say student dot pop item, shift and enter. As you can see, to confirm, just do student, shift and enter. As you can see, name 4 and its value Ken have been popped out of the dictionary. So these are some of the methods that are associated with the Python dictionary. With this, I will be rounding up everything about the basics of Python data structure. In subsequent topics, we will be touching and mixing up advanced data structure of Python as we touch on other topics like if and else statements, for loops and while loops, and other topics in data science and machine learning. Thanks for watching.